Hello and good evening. As we wait for the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to speak and address the nation, we shall bring you the news tonight. It's exactly 8 o'clock this 13th day of February 2021. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold Muhammad on sign language. Now, to start out our bulletin tonight, Manafwa Resident District Commissioner Arnold Wadulo has ordered for the immediate closure of Westwa Butoto Bridge on River Manafwa. This is after discovering that the bridge had wrapped and become a risk to people's lives, as these details are going to share with us. Let's take a look.
The wooden bridge connecting Butoto sub-county to Westwa Town Council has been temporarily closed after it is proved to be in deplorable state. The resident district commissioner, Manafwa Arnold Wadulo, has tasked the district engineer to carry out emergency repair measures on the bridge to save lives.
Monitoring. It is part of my mandate as a resident district commissioner to ensure where government is implementing projects, we monitor them and see whether they are meeting standards and they are being completed in time.
The residents claim the bridge has been in that condition for a long time, despite many complaints from residents. Wadulo was carrying out routine inspection of district connectivity roads, especially works on the 6-kilometer Westwa Butoto road, where the contractor was faulted for not having met standards and specifications.
We found that they have put little maram, and the engineers have instructed the contractor to ensure that they top up this maram, because maram thickness is supposed to be 4 inches, but we found 3 inches.
But engineer Hamba Ismail accused the site engineer for being slow, adding that the Ministry of Works is deducting money from his company as a penalty for failure to meet the contract deadline.
The contractor is slow on site. He didn't meet the time which he was supposed to allocate it. So for now, we are just deducting money from him.
The contractor, John Epu of PAP Engineering Limited, admitted the delays but blamed it on COVID-19 and heavy rains in the district.
So we lost the 3 months because by then most of our equipment needed service, needed repairs. So the 3 months we could not access any spare part because all the hardware shops were closed. So we delayed by the 3 months. Then when we started work around June, that is the time now it coincided with the heavy rains.
The contract was expected to rehabilitate Buwangani Sikunga, Buwangani Butoto and Masaka Magodesi Road, all totaling to 12.8 kilometers. Some sections the contractor reportedly put a thin layer of maram and also failed to use the compressor to hold the road firm. The construction works, which commenced in February 2020, was expected to end by September 2020 with an extension of 1 month. However, all this has not been successful because the contractor was not up to the mark. Story compiled by Kenneth Tanaba for UBC News.
When I look at this story, I think of the saying that don't do tomorrow what you can do today. Service delivery is very key in ensuring the community is thriving. In more news, a budding young politician in Chiruhura district, Nzeire Sadrak Nwomgisha Kaguta, has appreciated all Ugandans who participated in the recent elections. Now, Nzeire, who is also the younger brother of the president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, congratulates all the winners and tells losers not to give up but wait for another time. Let's take a look.
It's now a month since Ugandans voted their favorite presidential and parliamentary candidates, though a number of participants are not yet to come to terms with their loss.
First of all, I want to thank God and the people of Uganda who believed in our motto for God and my country, who showed they are patriotic to their country. They lined up many candidates and they chose our candidate, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. As the NRM party, for us, we were happy and we trusted him, because that's why even he was unopposed in our party first of all, because he's a good driver, he's a tested cadre. He has been maneuvering the corners of Uganda, East Africa and Africa.
It is for this reason that a banding politician in Kiruhura district, Nzeire Sadrak Nwomgisha Kaguta, encourages those who didn't win not to give up but to wait for the next elections.
There is time for everything. There is a season. Like now, let me give you an example of Masaka. There is a season for grasshopper. It comes and it goes. Campaign period is over. Let us go back to our gardens. Let us go back to our shops. Let us go back to our professional. Let us go back to the grassroots and mobilize those politicians, mobilize people, farmers do farming, and wait for another 5 years to come. You can go back on the drawing board. The world is not ending today. Good enough. Those who have decided to go to court, they have gone to court. Let us wait what comes out of the court. But I want to congratulate Ugandans. I want to thank them on behalf of my party, NRM, and on behalf of my national chairman.
On the issues of NRM not performing well in Buganda sub-region, Senyonyo Rwanga Rashidi, the NRM treasurer in Makindye division, has the answer.
Ekisooka tubadde mu mulwadde bwa COVID nga tugendera mu mateeka ga COVID tebakkirizibwa kubalaale na kunoonya bululu nga bwe baali balina okunoonya. Naye aba Umbrella basobola okunoonya akalulu mu kifuba era ne bakozesa amaanyi ge balina ag'okwewagula ne basobola okubuzaabuza abantu ne bawakalo.
However, as all this goes on, the National Resistance Movement party cadres are brushing their shoes and ironing their suits in readiness for the swearing-in of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, their duly elected president.
Era we tutuuse kabonero kakulaga nti Uganda kati etambula egenda mu maaso. Bano bonna boolaba abalwanyisa NRM bali mu baasi munda mwe bakulidde.
Nelson Akatuhulira compiled this story for UBC News.
Now, yesterday we had a tour of her initiatives in the health sector of Mityana. Today, hundreds of beneficiaries of the Information and National Guidance Minister Judith Nabakoba's generosity, mainly small-scale farmers in Mityana district, have hailed her for the role of uplifting their life standards. Now, produce dealers, those rearing pigs, those in poultry rearing have partly thrived due to Judith Nabakoba. And this report, Onyango tells us what exactly to expect from her in this coming time.
Southward Produce Dealers is a group in Mityana district where its members are majoring in piggery, poultry rearing, with assistance from the area woman member of parliament, Judith Nabakoba. With nearly 2 years of existence and support, Southward Produce Dealers is overwhelmed by its progress.
Ffe tumuganyuddwamu nnyo mu kyalo oyo nnyo kubanga enkoko ezo tuzigaziyiza ebyenfuna byaffe.
Honorable Nabakoba tugenda musubwa nnyo kubanga abadde atukoledde enkulaakulana ng'abakyala tubadde tutandise okukula ddala.
Tumusimbe Sylvia is the chairperson of Southward Produce Dealers, an association anchoring over 30 small-scale farmers.
Honorable nga tannaba kujja twalinanga ebirowoozo by'okwagala olunda enkoko naye nga tetulina busobozi. Naye kati bwe yajja bayatuleetera ekyuma ekizaaluza kiri awo mu tawuni.
Namutebi Aisha, a resident of Buye Kikumbi in Mityana district, is among the many beneficiaries of the Nabakoba poultry and tailoring projects. From 0 to over 400 chicks, Namutebi realizes a dream come true.
Nali sina kyenkola nga ndi mukyala mbeera waka. Bwe nawulira nti Honorable aguddewo agabira abakyala enkoko nange ne ŋŋenda ne tutandikawo ekibiina ekyaffe ng'abakyala ne tutandika okulunda enkoko. Twatandika n'enkoko batuwa enkoko 2 nga tuli abakyala 30.
Nabakoba did not only give out poultry but also set up an incubator in the area. Serwada Alan is the operation manager of this incubator.
This project is a poultry project. The Honorable set this project with one goal, with one aim, just to uplift the economic status of Mityana people, of people in Mityana district, as well as those people outside Mityana district.
Besides employing him, Serwada is impressed that the community has been the first-hand beneficiary of this project.
Before this machine, life wasn't that smooth, because most people who had chicks, they had to travel a long distance to Kampala, to Mbale, to Jinja, to other districts like Mukono, so that they can hatch their eggs. Right now, the Honorable started this investment. Right now, it is helping people because someone can tell you, long ago I used to travel long distances. I used to reach that place when my eggs had broken up. I had to reach that place when I've spent a lot of transport.
With all these tangible achievements and testimonies, the question lingering on some people's minds is why then did Mama Mityana lose the recent election?
Munango omuyaga gwajja naffe twalabiraawo naye tweta tukisuubira kubanga atukoledde nnyo ngaffe bannamityana atukoledde mu byaddala naye munnaayi twalabiraawo omuyaga bwe gwajja ne gwera buli kimu naye muyagendera. Nze nsaba President Museveni omulabirenga ddala tunyoleddwa nnyo ekirungi mbw akyaliwo tafudde. Tumanyi mu 2006 ajja kudda ate ajja kuwangula kubanga obulumi abantu bagenda oyita mu gino emyaka 5 bugenda kubaviirako okulaba ekituufu mu kye bakola kyali si kyekituufu.
They were touched by the results. They were touched at the end of the day. So to me that was a sign of relief, a sign of fulfillment, that I served the purpose for which God told me to do. And I said, of course I served the purpose and I was serving my people. Being a born and a resident of the area, I know that I'm proud of what I've done. And I know even themselves, even those who think that they did not give me, at the end of the day they are regretting, but what happened? Even somebody told me that if we are to redo this election, you can be overwhelmed by your percentage. That's what they are telling me.
Though some attribute the loss to fate inadvertent, others just attribute it to a political wind that could have swept through the central region.
And that's why I thank God for journalism. Many good things that are done might go unseen without our expertise. In other news, Uganda has this weekend joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Radio Day under the theme, A New World, A New Radio. Now, in Kampala, community radio stations operating in Uganda convened to share their challenges in what they say the efforts to uplift standards of the living of the people are. Let's take a look.
To its magic 100 FM as we celebrate World Radio Day.
The International Radio Day celebrates the glorious tunes from the traditional medium all over the world. The theme this year focused more on evolution, innovation and connection.
The new world means that after COVID came around, people needed to adapt at the individual level, but also at the organizational level. Everybody has adapted. So we are looking at ourselves as community radio stations. How can we get into a new world? What is it that, how can we evolve from the way we used to do things to the new world? So what is it that we can innovate and still remain relevant?
Members of community radio stations convened as the community broadcasters to share experience and find new mechanisms on developmental issues that can uplift the standard of living for the local people.
We had to come up with some kind of a coping mechanism to ensure that we still facilitate freedom of expression on behalf of the people that we serve, because Mama FM and also other radios, community radio stations, they are there to bring the voices of the least heard at no cost.
Me, I've seen radios that are community, but they are on YouTube. You get it? They are on, they have Facebook pages, and you can tune in live even when you are out of, but according to the law, you are within the component of a community radio. These are some of the things you need to think about and see how you will be in position to deliver to your community.
Radio as a medium of communication is admired by all generations, mainly the elderly, who reminisce listening to their radio transistors as a family, to the young generation that has found the charm of radio on the move, either in a car or on their mobile devices. The Radio Day was first marked on the 13th, 1946, when the United Nations Radio was established. The day was officially proclaimed by member states of UNESCO and later adopted by United Nations General Assembly in 2012 as the International Day. Zahara Abigaba, Esther Chitibwa, UBC.
Definitely a new world for radio. We give thanks to Marconi, who invented the radio waves, or who actually discovered the radio waves. Now, following the release of the 2020 academic year schedule by the Ministry of Education and Sports, a number of schools and institutions are actually happy with the timing. Accordingly, semi-candidates and Senior 1 students will study for 14 weeks and Senior 2 for 10 weeks. And these also include Primary 6, Senior 3 and Senior 5 in primary and secondary levels. Let's take a look at the details.
Teachers and proprietors of schools and institutions are happy with the Ministry of Education's release of the 2020 academic year schedule in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. A number of teachers from various schools, however, want government to recruit more teachers, especially in government schools, and promise to follow the guidelines aimed at preventing coronavirus infection in schools.
The program is very good. It has very many advantages. Learners have been able to come back at school. Remember, learners their discipline has deteriorated when they're at home. Another thing is that teachers are suffering, don't have what to do. They don't have money. There is poverty among the teachers. But as the government brings out learners coming back at school, teachers are getting vacancies, teachers are getting something to put in their pockets.
But the ministry have decided to let the children come back to school because of what was happening to children at their homes. However, this is also going to have a challenge on both sides, the teachers, ourselves, the parents, and the children.
A school proprietor in Lubaga Division, Kampala, Sheikh Swaibu Musa Sentomero, wants parents and teachers to avoid politics, among other related issues regarding the education sector in this period of COVID-19, and encourage them to support government programs aimed at preventing coronavirus.
President yali aisa directives wali COVID-19 byatunywereze nnyo mu lockdown.
It's exactly 20 minutes past the hour of 8, and right about now we're handing you over to the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is going to be live talking to the nation, addressing us about matters of national importance. So right about now, I must say good night and see you at 10.